Okay, Mark, you got kind of a new program. It's sort of an old program, yet a new program. You have a new aspect to all this trimming you guys are doing, right?
Right, yeah. So we've got it's definitely forestry, tree trimming. We've been doing that for years and years, but we're using new tools now, and those are our drones that we put out a press release about a couple days ago. So yes, we're using drones now, and it is assisting us with the technology, the capability of having high resolution views, which is a little bit hard to do when you're walking through our right of way or you're driving a truck or a side by side. Much easier to fly over. You get that aerial shot and be able to see the infrastructure a little bit better.
Yeah, I would imagine in more rural areas it's very helpful, right?
For sure, yeah. There's a lot of hard to access in East Texas. There's a lot of hard to access properties, easements, and so yeah, it just helps us to be able to do our job a little bit more safely, definitely more efficiently and effectively.
Yeah, and I think, maybe, some people skimmed over that press release, they might think they're using drones to actually trim the trees, but that's not the case, right?
Right, we are not using drones to trim the trees at all. We do have great technology. We use a long arm trimmers. We've got people that climb, use bucket work. So we're pretty good at that part of it. So no, we're not using drones to trim the trees at this point. Maybe someday that technology comes along. But last year we did utilize helicopters to trim some distribution lines in several different locations. And, we'll do whatever it takes to keep the power on and to make sure that we're reducing our outages.
Yeah, now you're telling me you have done many miles, or your people have done many miles.
There's a new program called the System Resiliency Plan, SRP. It's a multiple year program that's been funded that we need to go and do some tree trimming, some system upgrades. Last year, we did over 1,200 miles of trimming in our 3-state system. This year, we're going to double that. It's going to be 2,400 miles. And so again, for the next several years, you'll see us and we will be more active, and they're probably already seeing us. We're going to be very active in making sure that we're removing forestry from our right of way to make sure that our power stays on.
That's a lot of subcontractors.
It can be, so we do a lot of work with subcontractors. You'll see a lot of Asplin trucks. You'll see other forestry companies that are representing us. Some of them are doing the high level analysis, and some of them are actually doing the tree trimming itself. So yes, we've got a lot of workers out there, and that's good for our economy, right?
Yeah, and they haul it off too.
So there's multiple times when we do forestry work, and we really like to communicate with our customers ahead of the work if we possibly can. Unfortunately, we have outages at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. That could be weather, it could be a vehicle hits a pole. We're not going to knock on your door at 2 o'clock in the morning. You're welcome. And so there are times when we don't get to communicate with our customer and find out what they want to do with their tree that was on their property. And so we leave that there. We'll cut through the tree, we'll pick up that line. But our most important item on the agenda at that point is to get the power back on. And so we're going to cut through the tree, leave it there, make it safe, try to get it out of the road, that type of thing. But we're going to leave it there because that's your tree. When we can plan the work, when we do planned work, then we have the conversation. And I showed you this earlier. This is the door hanger, so we'll knock on the door. If nobody's home, then we'll leave the door hanger. It's got the cell phone number of a supervisor, somebody that's in charge of the forestry department, somebody that's running a crew that you can call and get more information. It tells you what kind of work we're doing, when we plan on doing it. And so it's a communication tool. And if you get one of these yellow hangers on your door, please reach out to us. Please communicate. And that way we can know, do you want us to leave the wood here? Do you want us to cut it up in 2-foot sections for your fireplace? Do you want us to take it away? How do you want us to work with you as a customer?
Do you think this mitigation has helped to maybe not cause as many power outages?
Absolutely. It's hard to put a number on, but we had tens of thousands of customers out earlier this year. Undoubtedly, all of the forestry work that we're doing is making a difference in those outage numbers. The majority of our outages are tree related. Most of them, we have 15-foot right of way with a lot of our distribution. We have 100-foot pine trees, right? So when they fall towards the line, they're going to take out the power. And so that's what our goal is, to make sure that we can do as much as we can within our right of way clean that up, to clear it up, and make sure that those aren't creating outages.
Yeah, and crews are out right now, as we speak, continuing this work. How much longer will they be doing it?
Yeah, so we'll never stop doing forestry work in East Texas, right? The system resiliency plan is going to go on for several more years past 2026. And thousands of miles every year planned. And so that's in a 3-state area. So we will be in your neighborhood. If you have lines in your backyard, we'll probably be in the backyards and the alleys and the streetways. Please give our folks enough room to work. Please keep them safe, help them by giving them a buffer. But also, if you have questions about what's going on your property, you should have a contact already. But if not, just give us a call at SWEPCO. Let us know that hey, someone's working on our property, and we'll validate and we'll have somebody reach out to you.
Well, it occurs to me that trees grow. And so by the time you get to the end, you kind of got to go back to the beginning.
Right. The whole plan is to get this on a 4-year cycle. So all of our major circuits on a 4-year trim cycle. That is something that we have fought for a long time to do. We've argued for that for our customers. It looks like we're going to get to that. So we're pretty excited about, because you're right, Jamie. It's especially in East Texas compared to other places in the state where you may have a lot of mesquite trees or shrubs, or in West Texas, not many trees at all. East Texas, our trees grow very quickly, and sometimes that's hard to communicate outside of East Texas, but here in East Texas, we know that, right? And as they grow, we have to have a resiliency plan, something that makes sure that we stay on top of this for our customers.
So maybe property owners should make sure they pick up their pine cones.
Well, I think that planting is always an important part of this conversation. Right? We need to make sure that we're planting the right trees in the right spaces. We've got some tips and tricks and hints about that on our website. If you just look up forestry, SWEPCO Forestry, you can find some of that documentation. If you can't find it, please let me know. I'll provide it for you. But yes, anything that's going to grow over 15, 20 feet, don't plant that under our power lines, please. And sometimes the animals in the world, they plant those for us. And so we just do our best to make sure that we're staying on top of that.
Yeah, and I guess, this mitigation, sometimes it's very thick. I saw some guys who were trimming, and they were just right in the middle of it, trimming from the ground.
Yeah, yeah. It's not all tree work. There's a lot of vines and bushes and crepe myrtles and everything else that it can be thrown our way. So those our forestry department is doing a lot of great work right now, and it can get a little hairy and messy, but they're professionals and they know what they're doing, and they're doing a great job.
Yeah. Anything you'd like to add?
No, I think I would just reiterate, if there's work being done on or near your property, you should be receiving a notification. It should be hung on your door. If there's no house, it should be hung on your fence somewhere nearby. We make it bright yellow so that people can see it. Please reach out to us. That is the number on there. Please call that number. Make sure that we're treating you as a property owner right. Make sure that we're having that conversation with you, and that way we can make sure that we're doing forestry work right as we try to improve the system.
All right. Thanks
That's
a lot,
it.
Mark.
Thank you.